If you're an elementary teacher doing remote teaching, chances are it is a struggle and a challenge to sustain the students' interest. Am I right? Yeah. Now, our guest teacher Annie will share her best practices, and it's very, very practical on how to do it. From her lesson planning, from her communication to parents, from her dances and songs, the chants, how she celebrates. Oh my goodness. Watch this video. This will be a lifesaver.
Hi everyone, my name is Annie, and I am a second grade teacher in one of the public schools here in Houston, Texas. When the pandemic happened, so many changes came about so swiftly. And as teachers, we managed to adapt, to be flexible, to survive, and to thrive in this kind of situation. So the first thing I did was to create a space at home for my distance learning or virtual class. You need to find a space that's well lit, comfortable, with less distractions, and where the materials are accessible to you. For my live sessions, I usually use virtual backgrounds, and the kids and my students really love to see what kind of virtual background I will use every day. And these virtual backgrounds are also good conversation starters. As you can see, I have one of the famous landmarks here in Houston, Texas, which is NASA. The second tip is to keep things simple by using platforms the students are used to. Do not reinvent the wheel. In my district, we use a platform called ClassLink or Alif Hub. It is a place that the students log in, where everything they're using in the classroom is right at their fingertips using one username and password. So once they log in, this is what they'll see. So all the apps are in our class link. So all they need to do is to click on it, and they would not need any username and passwords for each of these apps. One of the applications we have is called Schoology. When they click on the Schoology app, they will see their courses, the groups they belong to, and the resources they need for their learning. Our Schoology is our virtual learning environment. This is an application that our students have been using all throughout the school year. When our district transitioned to distance learning, they tried to keep a balance between synchronous and asynchronous learning. The third tip is to set your expectations for video conferencing, whether you are using Zoom, Google Meet, or Skype. Here's an example of the expectations I set with my students. On the first day of our distance learning, I had the parents attend our Zoom session so I can go over the expectations with them and their children. So number 4 tip is to create a weekly agenda or checklist. Now this helps them to keep track of the work they have to do and to check off tasks that they already have accomplished. Now, based from my experience, a lot of the parents really like this because they said that it helps them to monitor the schoolwork that the children have to finish. Now, I am going to share with you an example of the weekly agenda I used this summer school. So here you can see, because we only did math and reading for summer school. So here I have listed here the things they have to do for Monday for math, and then here for reading also. So all they have to do is just check off and see that they're able to accomplish all of these things in the weekly agenda. Now, this one is shared in their Schoology, and I also send it in the parents' email so they can download it and print it out if they want to. For number 5, so make it engaging. It's very important that we keep our kids motivated. So we make it engaging. And how do we do that? We try to incorporate games and songs in our lessons. My students love virtual scavenger hunt. They also love games on Kahoot, Quizlet, and especially on quizzes. Okay. So number 6, give them breaks when you do live lessons. Okay, especially our little ones, because we all know that their attention span is really short. Now, my students love Go Noodle when we do live sessions and I have to give them a break. We always use Go Noodle. I'm going to share with you and show. So this is Go Noodle, and I'm just going to give you an example of one of my students' favorite. So we have here different things they can do. You have Noodle Television, you have Blazer Fresh. They love Cuckoo Kangaroo. They love Zumba Kids. So like Cuckoo Kangaroo, if you press on that one, this is one of their favorites. So they can follow the actions. They can sing the songs. We have, they love Milkshake. They love Popsicle. Let me play a little bit of that.
Download new Go Noodle Games app. Play at home. It rocks.
So this is Popsicle.
Hey, what? Are you ready for what? Popsicle. My hands are on my feet.
So the kids will follow the actions. This is how we popsicle. Popsicle, 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 popsicle. So okay, so that's one. They like the Zumba Kids right here. This is one of their favorites.
Hi, I'm Henry, and I travel the world teaching Zumba. Get ready to turn up your energy and have some fun.
They love this one. And I think the teacher too loves this one.
Jump, jump, bring it down, all the way now, touch the ground. Jump, jump, bring it down, all the way now, touch the ground. Jump, jump, bring
When
it
they
down,
hear
all
this,
the way now, touch the
oh,
ground.
yeah.
Slide left, slide right, let me
So usually the songs are like 3-minute long. So
see you right.
yeah, so that's enough to give them a break.
Let me see you right.
Okay, so that's another example of one that they really like. They also like Blazer Fresh, and this one is really nice because it's like academic in nature, like the songs they sing. So like they're like Hula Baloo for math. So this one is song for math.
Let's see who's greater than. Greater than.
Greater than, greater than,
Yeah.
less than, less than, less than.
Equal to. Boom back, holla. Greater than sign. It's over to the left. The bigger number is on the left.
Okay, so you have an idea how it goes. So that is Go Noodle for you. Yes, we love Go Noodle. Remember to give them a break when you're doing your live sessions. So number 7 tip is to use ABL. So what is ABL? Now that's a buzzword in our district, and it's called action-based learning. So when we talk about ABL, it is academic learning using purposeful movement. This is a brain research that supports the link of movement and physical activity to increase academic performance. So like for example, so the actions that you do in the classroom should be intentional. So like for example, in math, instead of, if I want my kids to skip count, I don't just let them skip count, but we have to incorporate some movements with it. So I taught my kids to do the tap, clap, snap. So when we do that, we start with this, and then I ask the kids, are you ready? And then they answer, yes, we are. And then they tap, clap, and when they snap, they have to count the number. So they do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so that's one example for math. And then for reading, when we do our spelling words, the ABL I use for that is when we spell our words, we use some movements with the letters. And my students love using sports movement when they spell the words. So for example, if they have to, there's one that we use, the basketball movement. So what we do is we dribble each letter, and when we say the word, we shoot it. Okay, so example, if I have to spell the word ball, so we say B-A-L-L, and then we shoot the ball and say ball. Okay, so that's how it goes. So if I have to spell the word pen, so they dribble the ball, P-E-N, pen. So the other one we use is the volleyball movement. So they toss the ball. When they toss the ball, they say each letter. And then when they have to say the word, they have to spike the ball. So if our word is paper, so they do P-A-P-E-R, paper, and they really love it. Okay, so you have to use actions with it. For vocab or vocabulary words, instead of just reciting the meaning of the word, you use actions with it. Okay, so if we're talking about the sun, we don't just say it's the center of the solar system, but we say sun is the center of the solar system. Okay, so if we have to say flowers, we have to do an action and say flowers. Okay, so that is ABL, action-based learning. Now, another thing that I use, this is my last one, my last tip for you guys is to, I know that when they come into our live sessions, they're on mute, but there are times when the class is unmuted, okay? So what I do is I use some of fun attention getters, and when I want their attention back. So some examples of this attention getters that I use in the classroom, I have a list of that, okay? So I can do an echo clap. So they follow the rhythm of my clapping, so they have to echo it back to me. So if I say, so the kids will have to echo it back to me. And then if we also do match me, so if I see that the class is not really listening, so I just say, match me. So I know those who are listening because they'll do what I'll do. So if I say match me and I do this, then everybody needs to do this. If I do this, then everybody needs to do that. If I raise both hands, then they have to do that. So that is match me. You do the teachers say and then the students say. So if I say 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, the students will say 1, 2, eyes on you. If I say macaroni and cheese, then the students will say everybody freeze. Okay, so those are just some examples of attention getters. I'm gonna show some more examples, those attention getters that I use in my classroom. So these are some of those, okay? So you say hocus pocus, and then the kids will say everybody focus, and then zip it, lock it, put it in your pocket. And then you say if you want their hands off from their keyboard, you say hands on top, everybody stop, okay? And then if you want them to keep quiet, you just say waterfall, waterfall, and the kids will put their hands up and drizzle like this, like the hands, and they say shh, and then they stop. Or you can ask them to do, if you hear me, touch your head. If you hear me, touch your nose. If you hear me, it's like Simon says, but if you hear me, touch your ears. So those are some fun attention getters that you can use for your kids, okay? And just like any learnings that they do inside the classroom, we have to celebrate success in learning. And so in In my class, I always use celebrations and cheers. And some examples of this that I use, my students love the McDonald celebration or McDonald cheer. And so when somebody gives a very good answer, so I let them celebrate by doing the cheer. So the way we do McDonald's celebration is like this. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba, I'm loving it. And then we show the approval sign. And then my students came up with the Spider-Man celebration. And the way it goes is like this. So you raise your fingers like this, and you spread it like you're spreading the web. You say, Psh, amazing. Okay. And then we also have, which one is it? The Harry Potter celebration. And that's, I asked them to get their wand, and we do ching, 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 terrific. Okay. So you have to be very creative. And some of those things are things that I created, and some of things are the kids created, so that we can celebrate the learnings that are happening in the classroom. Those are the tips I have for you guys. So I hope you got something from my sharing today, and good luck to all of us. So we're in this together. Thank you.